Okay, this month I thought I would introduce you to the reptiles. This is Annie. She's my royal python or bull python, and she's the bog standard normal that you don't actually see very much of these days because they're all colour morphs. She's just shed. She's looking really sparkly, and she's a lovely girl. She's about 10 years old, would you believe? This is her potential husband. He's a Mojave ball python, and saw him in my local pet shop actually, and thought he was really cool markings and colouring. The Mojave just changes the pattern on the normal, and you get the nice sort of fading on the sides. Really, really, really pretty little boy. Not sure if I will breed them. There's so many ball pythons, royal pythons out there now, and they're just two a penny. And I might have a go. It's just intriguing just to see if I can actually get some eggs and hatch them. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, so this guy is a gold dust motley corn snake, and he's a couple of years old, but he had a bit of a poor start. He was a tiny, tiny baby when I got him around, couldn't get him to feed, and that's really changed. He's picked up now. He literally will eat everything, and he's probably my feistiest snake. Actually, you have to watch your fingers when you put your hand in his tub. This is my super jungle boa, bred by Mark Norrie, who's quite a famous boa breeder here in the UK, mostly for his sunset boas. Um, but yeah, she's absolutely lovely. She is het for Carl as well, so I've got a pair. I'll show you the boy in a minute, and hopefully they can actually produce a huge array of colours. But the jungle sunglow is the one I would really like from the mating, and that would be awesome. But anyway, that's a couple of years ahead. But she's a sweetie. She was really, really nippy as a baby. She'd just fly at you all the time. But as you can see, she's settled down. Literally, I can do anything now with her. She's absolutely fine. I hardly have to use the. I usually use the tongs to touch their heads when I put my hand in, just to sort of warn her that it's not food, and then I can pick her up. But now she's pretty calm, so as long as she knows it isn't food, she's absolutely fine. But it's an absolutely lovely colour, really, 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 really nice snake. And this is the potential husband, and he is a motley. Believe he's a Colombian motley boa, so he's quite a size actually for his age. He's about 18 months old as well. Absolutely stunning markings, and the iridescence on these guys is absolutely amazing. You catch them in the light, they literally sparkle with colour. Really, really beautiful. And he's a little bit feisty. You have to be careful. Just let him know that you're not food, and he's a real gripper, as you can see. But he literally, the strength of him is amazing. He will just hang on to you and cling like crazy. I guess they are kind of tree climbers, so that's how they would kind of climb a tree. But you can feel the power. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to be putting this guy around my neck when he's an adult, because the power now is unbelievable. But yeah, he's come down. He's a real sweet lad, and absolutely love his markings. Really, really nice. He's het for Carl albino as well, so with the girl, yeah, they should be able to produce me a rainbow. But yeah, like I say, a couple of years off yet. So, and finally for the reptiles, this guy, and this was a complete madness. This was a local lady who was desperate to get rid of some babies, and they were like a few pounds each. And he's a Bosque monitor or a Savannah monitor, very, very squirmy, as you can see. He's not really into being held. He's doubled the size since I've had him. I've had him about a month. He was tiny, really scrawny, and not very great when I got him. But he's picked up. He's being pumped full of superworms and locusts. He loves locusts, and it's going to take a while to get him tame. You can see he's not happy being held here, but I just wanted to show him to you. And there's a great Facebook group for these actually, and really worth going to read if you're going to look at having one of these, because they're not easy to look after at all. And you know, I've ordered him a huge vivarium that hasn't arrived yet, but yeah, hopefully we're going to do him proud and come back and watch him grow. It's going to be interesting. Well, sadly, this month I had 3 deaths. And this guy, and you remember I had him for a couple of weeks, Histograticus, that came from Bugs UK. Well, thanks Tarantula Matt and Dave Scott, who both did confirm and say, yeah, he was a mature male and on his last legs. And he literally was on his last legs because he lasted about 2 weeks. And although I got him feeding and he was eating, and I just thought, oh, okay, well, we'll get some time out of him. Sadly, I went in one day and the smell was unbelievable, and yeah, he was a goner. And sadly, the little Cambridge eye didn't make it either. A bit of a shock though, my vagans died as well. I think it was molting, and yep, didn't make it, poor thing. But a couple of new additions, and I've got Mark Tarantulas to blame for this one actually, because I was watching his BTS video. I didn't make it to the BTS sadly this year, and I saw these guys on the Spider Shop table and kept looking at their site after the BTS to hope that they would have some left, and they did. So I bought one, and this is a Funapalma New River, absolutely gorgeous colouring. She's really actually more apricot than she looks on the screen. Really pretty, really laid back, like just completely docile. Really pretty. I love these. Similar to a Calcodas, I guess, but like I say, the apricot on their legs and stuff is absolutely beautiful. And she's got a bit of a bald bum, but that's probably from travelling when she's been to the BTS. God knows where she's been, but she is lovely. Really like her. Okay, so the blue spider has landed. I saw this video on YouTube, Alversi 8800, a couple of years ago, and ever since then, and that kind of got me into the hobby. I think actually I started looking at them, but obviously I didn't go straight from Metallica because they are mad. But finally I have got one, and it's in this pot. Yes, it is in this pot somewhere. I haven't seen it since it arrived, but I know it's eating crickets. So yeah, she should be okay. And really looking forward to my own blue spider. Cool. So there was me complaining about the Albiceps last month because it didn't do anything, wasn't eating great. And it was because it was going to molt. And wow, it's like a different spider, absolutely sparkling. And just starting to look like an Albiceps now. No, doesn't look like a sling anymore. This is going to be a stunner. And the second one to molt was my Apophysis. Looking pretty freaky actually, with this kind of pink prickly fur all over the place. Yeah, he's doing really well. He's such a wimp. He won't take big prey. He just takes tiny crickets all the time. Whatever. And my Lasiodora parahybana, actually looking like one now. Stop that kind of grey sling look that all spiders look like when they're babies. She's starting to look like a proper grown up. This thing has grown so fast. It's amazing. Love her. And of course, we knew that Olaf was going to molt, and he did. And weirdly, he's gone kind of this pink tangerine colour. That's not lighting or anything. That is what he looks like. Absolutely stunning. I mean, this colouring is just so beautiful. He's such an easy guy to look after, this guy. No wonder they're so popular as a first spider, because they are just beautiful. So here's his molt, and it was my first attempt at sexing a molt. And yeah, it looks like he's a boy. I mean, there is a wrinkle there, but that's just the wetness, but he is a boy. And then this is the Sazame. I told you that he really coloured up last month. But he's really grown, absolutely huge to what he was just in a month or so. And you can see that his colours are coming through. But the biggest shock, I can't believe, was this pink thing, which is the second Sazime, which actually sounds like a great film title, The Second Sazime, is now this in a month. Like, I never see it, it's completely buried, and I actually dug it up because I was a bit worried about it. And I was shocked, absolutely shocked when I saw her. I'm sure this one's a female. But yeah, can you see the colourings on it? Such a difference in literally just 1 month. Stunning. Well, in another mad moment, I bought a couple of Scolopendri Dahani centipedes. Yeah, that was it on the left. Blink and you will miss it. That's that. Literally, that's all I've seen of it since it arrived. I've got two of these. They do get quite big and they're quite nasty, apparently. So come back and watch them grow. And then this guy, he's a blonde desert hairy scorpion. I never thought I'd own a scorpion. I don't actually like them. No, I really don't. But actually, this has kind of grown on me. I saw this on Mark Tarantula's BTS video on the Spider Shop table, and they look pretty cool. They look really huge, actually. This one's not massive, but I'm sure it's got the potential to be so. But yeah, I'm kind of liking it actually. It's been quite cool. They're quite nasty. This species, quite aggressive, but they don't have a very bad sting. Apparently, I'm not gonna tempt it and try it. Um, he's a little bit nervous. Obviously they're nocturnal. These guys, so they don't like bright light, bright light, bright light. But yeah, he's settled in really cool, and I quite like them. It's really shiny actually, like real kind of gloss on his exoskeleton, I guess it is. But yeah, apparently they can't climb glass, which I'm quite pleased about. But he's a bit nervy. Usually he's under his log. He's got quite deep substrate here, so if he wanted to bury himself, then he can make a burrow underneath the log or something. But yeah, he's settled in really well. I tried him with a superworm, as you can see. I didn't think he would eat because he was quite nervy, but yeah, he went for it. And as you can see, he's got it sort of pinched up, and he did sting it, and he's obviously a bit nervous. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna put his log back and let him eat in peace. So I'm hoping that he has eaten it. I'll check in the morning, perhaps. But yeah, pretty cool. Really like him. And there you go, my first attempt at mantis, praying mantis. And I got these on eBay, actually, only for a few quid each. Um, they're the Hierodula species golden, so they actually turn yellow as they mature. But they're so cool, they really are. I just love They're real characters. And it's really nice, having them in a pot and you don't have to worry about them escaping or biting you or doing anything. They literally just sit there, and I just dump some fruit like flies in and they love them. They just will eat them up like they go crazy after these little fruit fly things. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Hey, hey, come on, make my day. Really cool, real characters. So I hope they do well. So yeah, cool, huh? And these guys are stick insects, phasmids, and they're the giant green bean stick insect or whatever, something like that. Um, I have tried stick insects before, and to be honest, I haven't been very successful. They do really well initially, and I had the whole lot just die on me. And I think it might have been I was using tap water, and I think it might have been the tap water, or I'm not too sure. And I had 7 of these off of eBay again, and I'm down to 3. But the 3 that have survived are doing quite well and growing. So I don't know if they will survive or not. We'll see. Well, I kind of thought I'd have a go at breeding my own feeders because, particularly with Newt, the boss monitor, he's going to be expensive to feed because they're totally insectivorous. So this is my attempt to breed superworms. So I watched a few videos on YouTube as to how to breed them. You have to separate them so that they pupate, and they've been in those little pots for about 3 weeks, and finally they pupated. You see, they've kind of got these little white, kind of weird alien kind of things. They really do look like that thing on Alien, actually. That's the pupa. And I had my first beetle hatch, actually, so that's the plan. Once they've hatched into beetles, and then I can keep them together, and then you just sift out sift out the substrate, and it's full of beetle eggs, and they turn into superworms. So eventually, you have tons and tons of free, practically, superworms. So I'm hoping that this guy will have some friends very shortly, and it will save me a fortune. And I also got some red racers. These are the Turkestan roaches. They're so fast. It's really hard to catch them, actually. I've fed a couple to the busk already. I haven't tried them with my teas yet, but I wanted to kind of leave them alone and let them start breeding, so I could build my numbers up and then start feeding them off. And then, of course, the good old dubias, and I've done dubias before, and they literally are so easy. You just stick them in a box, give them some egg crates, feed them, and they will multiply like you would not believe. And they already have. You can see babies crawling around already. I've only had them about 2 weeks, and they were all adults. All of those babies are new. So yeah, they're going to be a great feed source. And finally, yeah, it's been a long video. Sorry, guys. I thought I'd show you my snails. I'm actually quite into snails, and I know they're kind of modest pets. I know they're a pest in America, and you can't keep them, so I'm sorry about that. But these are all captive bred, so they don't have any diseases or anything that you can catch. So there are different sort of varieties. This is actually a Burgundy scale, which are bred for escargot in France. So they're actually edible. I really like them actually. They call them the Romans now because the Romans actually brought them to the UK, and there are still some surviving. They're quite rare, but down in the southwest of England, you can still find wild ones of these. But they do breed them for escargot. And then this little guy is from Zanzibar, absolutely beautiful colour. He's only a tiny little baby. They don't get massive these as the giant land snails do, but really really gorgeous patterning on the shell. Really easy to look after snails. I mean, and they're quite curious and inquisitive. They're quite fun to watch actually, and get them out and watch them sort of rolling around, and yeah, just a bit of lettuce and keeps them happy. And this is my big boy, who is from Ghana, and he's huge, as you can see. Achatina. Um, he's a big old lad, and really fun to watch, and loves his grub. I make them up like a porridge mix every day, and they need calcium carbonate in their diet. But yeah, they're really cool actually. I'm quite taken with my little snails, and I've got a few different species now, so I may revisit and show you some more in the future. So there you go. So come back and watch more grow, as still a lot of youngsters to watch. And why not subscribe? Make my day. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.